Welcome to the most dramatic episode of Career Podcasters ever. This is the Bachelor recap episode of the finale. Matt doesn't even get that reference, but welcome to the Career Podcasters.
1, 2, 3, go!
I'm here to find out about The Bachelor.
Yeah.
I'm here to find about what the fuck is up with The
So
Bachelor.
to start, I'll say that's what they say. That's like the meme of it. Every season,
Yeah.
they always go, this is the most dramatic, most intense, craziest season ever. Super dramatic. The intros and the ads are just like oversold to the next. Like, it's the biggest thing ever. And of course, we have our wine, Bachelor Nation. You already know.
Had to be. Apparently, it had to be done.
I'm either going to get so much love or so much hate for this episode, and I'm so ready for it.
so ready for
This
both.
is amazing.
Yeah.
So tonight was the finale of The Bachelor, Matt James season. I don't know what season it was. I don't know what season it was. But
shout out my boy Omar. Shout out my boy Omar.
the way we got Matt
Says he's been listening.
Yeah, is Omar, Matt's old roommate. Surprisingly, looks very similar to The Bachelor.
Almost exact. Like, it's crazy how identical. Like, I'd come out like weeks at a time and be like, "Oh, you watching Omar on TV?"
Yeah, I'm just watching The Bachelor, of course, by myself in my room because none of my roommates watch The Bachelor.
Yeah.
No offense, but I'm just watching The Bachelor, doing my thing. He's like, "Oh, why are you watching Omar on the screen over there?" But that's how we got to this point today. After the fucking 3-hour Bachelor finale, a little overblown, we're here. So first I'll talk a little bit about the Bachelor season at hand, and then I'll just talk about The Bachelor in general. So first let me talk about what just happened, and then we can go into
Question time with Matt.
Bachelor
Question
Nation.
time with Matt because I
This
need to
is
learn. I'm
After
new.
the Rose with Matthew Bacon. I'm not Chris Harrison.
Excuse me?
Because Chris Harrison's canceled? What? Find out next time on... Anyway, so this
guiding
season,
me through a journey right now.
This season was Matt James' first black bachelor ever. First black man bachelor. And, of course, bachelor, whatever. Fuck. And so he had a good group. It was kind of weird because it was COVID, a little odd of a season. But he seemed like a pretty good guy most of the way.
A lot of good picks, like off of, initial view.
Initial view. He doesn't even know about the personality of these amazing women Matt James had on the show.
I just started.
And the trash personalities of some of the women on these shows.
Isn't it like hate watching? Like, come on, some of them have to be
for sure. So
bad.
What I've heard and what kind of behind the scenes that producers say and stuff is like the way the show is put together. The way the show is put together is for sure kind of fake, and like the way it's clipped and edited. But the emotions and the reactions of the people are real.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They're really in it for love.
Yeah.
Or at least they think so.
Yeah.
So in this season, he had a lot of great guys, a lot of great girls. And he ended up, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the finale, he ended up with no one. He picked this one girl, Rachel, by the end, after a lot of bad decisions, in my opinion. And she had just recently been outed for this like racially insensitive. She went to like an antebellum plantation styled party. And apparently he became very aware that she doesn't understand what it's like to be a black man in this country. They realized, hey, we have a lot of these differences. You need to work on you, yada, yada, yada. And they split up. Pretty crazy that the first season with a black bachelor, he picks the racist girl to win.
And then so this season unfolded different than how most unfold. This is kind of a unique. This doesn't usually happen.
A lot of times things go bad, but it's pretty wild that like
A lot of times
he
things go
really
bad.
you kind of knew from early. I wish I could say like
I only
they always
watched
end
like
up
an
great
hour.
together. Yeah, but this was pretty like he was pretty cool about it most of the season. Girls who he knew weren't going to be in it. He didn't like wait till the last second. He didn't really lead them on as much as you can for being on a TV show. He kind of like was like, you know what? I don't think this is going to work. You should go home. And then he kind of ends up with no one. He picks this one girl. He doesn't propose to her. Says, we'll just date. They date for a little bit. This drama, whatever happens in the relationship, they break up. Now they're apart.
Because when was this recorded again?
No, it's I don't know exactly, but they usually think like 6 to 4 months prior to the posting of the season.
Okay. Okay.
So not that long ago. They probably in total have known each other for like 4 to 6 months and they broke up. Craziest thing is this is a weird Bachelor season, but this is like a regular ass relationship. They meet each other, hit it off, they date for a while. He realized she's racist and not the person
He
you
wants
think
to
she
be
is.
with forever.
Yeah, at least not right now. She's also very young. I think he's a bit older. Not saying that has anything to do with it, but like they're just like, I think he kind of realized like we're at different kind of points. At least that's what I took away from what he said. Like you need to kind of learn about life and what it would be to date a black man and have black kids and whatnot. And then he's just like, I'm not trying to like wait around for you to figure that out. You know, I totally agree with that. And so now they're broken up, which is kind of more like a standard relationship than The Bachelor. But overall, weird season. It was the COVID season, so I knew it was going to be weird. But it had a lot of some funny moments. I don't know. You're right. It is hate watching a little bit.
No. Of course it was going to be weird.
Well,
the
duh.
legitimate question. This means he fucked up. He had a lot of other people to choose from. Maybe it didn't have to end so weird if this shit just didn't come out, you know?
Oh, about what happened to her?
Yeah. What if she was like, you know?
So
like,
are you saying if this if she never got canceled by the media or these photos never came out, they would have been okay?
maybe not. No, I'm just saying he fucked up. There was clearly better options out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Maybe even from the get-go, if
Yeah.
this is, you know.
To preface, Matt did not watch the season at all, doesn't know anything.
No.
So if he's not like
Learning.
exactly on what the drama is and what she did, like that's the whole point, right?
Questions, baby.
You
I'm
can
here
get on
to learn.
You can get on me for not knowing what's up to date because I've been paying attention more so. So what you're saying is, yeah, maybe he should pick someone else.
Yeah.
He says that. He says like I would have done a lot of things differently. I bet if he could go back, maybe he'd pick a different girl. Some good girls walked away who he really fucked with. So obviously he didn't have the end result was an L. So you're right. I guess he lost. But at the same time, maybe he won. I don't know. A lot of people seem to be on The Bachelor to not want to get engaged. So maybe it was okay. I don't know. Regardless, funky season, not my favorite. The guy was normally
Was the drama like so this wasn't the unique drama this time wasn't like cool?
Oh, the drama was extra because they were quarantined. The girls had a lot of in-house drama because they were with each other 24/7.
Okay.
So there was
But isn't this always
of,
the like question? Like, did he make the right pick? Obviously,
Yeah.
he made the wrong pick. Clearly.
Well,
so
knows?
who should have been the right one?
Okay, I would have picked someone else, but I don't know
Of
who
course
he
you
is.
would have.
I
I'm
don't know.
curious to know who it was.
I would have picked. My pick would have been Katie, Serena P, or Bree. Were my top three.
Hear that, Serena P.
Funny enough, I've been watching The Bachelor long enough that I actually called my top picks for the season were Serena P, Rachel, and Bree. So I got 3 of the top 4, and the other 4th girl wasn't on the first episode. So that actually is, I wish I could brag about that, but it's almost more disappointing that I know the show that well, that from the intro episode and how they market the characters, because they're characters damn near.
Wasn't there?
Figured it out.
There was there was a queen this season,
Yes,
right?
Queen Victoria. They always have like
Queen Victoria.
So
how was
there's-
she?
The way the show works, if you don't think this, sorry to burst your bubble. There's archetypes, right? They always the show is the same.
It's a journey every
and
time.
they fill in different characters into different roles. So there's like the meme kind of evil girl, right? And her occupation is often a joke. It'll be like in this case it was Victoria and her job said queen, right? And she wore a crown and she was super extra and she started all this drama and she talks shit and she was hilarious. She's almost like a Donald Trump type figure. Like you hate her, but you're kind of like, damn.
But you
she's
hate that you
kinda
love her.
Funny. If she was a cartoon,
Yeah.
you'd be like, this is a hilarious kind of villain or maybe the foil to the main character, right? Because that's what they're doing. It's a production. It's a show. There was a couple other lesser mean girls. There's always a few. None of the mean girls got that far this season. Normally one mean girl gets kind of far and it causes some drama. But it was a lot of the season was just like the girls talking shit about each other and stuff like that. And that part is funny. It's definitely fun, but it's just like one part of the show, I guess. But it was extra this season. There was definitely like a pack mob mentality this season because they were all so tight. But overall, it was just kind of iffy season. I wouldn't say it was that strong, but glad
Not
it's
that
over
strong.
with.
Not that strong in comparison.
Not in comparison.
So what does a standard follow-up conversation look like? You've been watching for so long, so you must know again if you can predict these marketable characters. Obviously, it's some degree marketable drama.
Sure.
And therefore predictable drama.
Yes.
So, what are we talking about? What's the
standard?
follow-up? What are we going? What
Okay.
do we
Well,
spill the tea,
so
my man?
I'll
Spill
start
the
with saying
fucking tea.
my Bachelor history. I've been a member of Bachelor Nation
Ooh.
since I was 0 years old, damn near.
OG motherfucker.
My mom watched the way I got into it was my mom watched the show, and I used to watch the show with my mom as a kid. We watched all the ABC. We watched Survivor. We watched this. You know, we ended up watching like The Voice or whatever, and you know, Amazing Race, stuff like that. And so this was a show I just watched as a kid with my mom. And then I got into high school, and at a point I was like, it was Ben Higgins' season, for those of you who know. And I think I was like a senior or junior in high school, and like I heard some girls talking about it, and I went over to my friend Jack, and I was like, yo, we should start watching The Bachelor, dude. Like,
You were the one that originally convinced Jack? I thought
Yeah.
I thought it was the other way around.
We had been talking about it. We'd been hearing about it, and then I was watching it with my mom. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know which one of us came up with this first.
Yeah.
It was partially like, this could be fire. It was another part, I've watched the show before, like it'd be cool to talk to my friends about it. Another part, it's something to talk to girls about.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm gonna be honest.
I mean,
Right?
how often do you post on your like social media? Just every now and then, like I'm
Very
watching
rarely.
The Bachelor. Very
rarely, but I get more responses from me watching The Bachelor than anything else.
Really?
Of course, dude.
Anything else?
Because people, it's one of those kind of more niche things that if you feel included, you're very about it. And that's what actually makes Bachelor very strong. And the only reason I still watch it is because I watch it with people.
So it's like a social thing.
I would never watch it by myself if no one else watched it.
Is it a phenomenon? Like,
It's
is this like a
phenomenon.
thing
It's
that goes on?
Twitter, it's always the top trending thing.
Really?
There's memes about it. For example, this season, Matt would kiss the girls with his eyes open. And in one of the first episodes, it's him making out with this girl with his eyes wide open. And I was like, it's going to destroy the internet. But as I watched it live, I was like, there's already memes about it.
Yeah.
As soon as I go to my phone, boom, 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 boom.
He didn't see the memes?
He did.
Oh, he did. He for sure
and
did.
He addressed it later in the season.
Oh, jeez.
When they brought him back live. Because remember, this is filmed before. They brought him back live, and they joked with him about it. He's like, yeah, I know now. But like, it's that kind of phenomenon.
Okay.
And so it's fun. Like, I watch it with a lot of my friends, especially with COVID. Like, I watch it online with Jack.
Yeah.
We have a glass of wine. We play a Bachelor drinking game. That's the best part of it.
Uh-huh.
When it was in person, I used to have all my roommates and all my friends come over. We'd all watch. And there's nothing better than like 10 jockey dudes in a room drinking wine, just going, this bitch is insane. Oh my God.
Crazy.
How could she do this? Or like, he is so fucked up. He does not deserve her. Oh, it's the best thing in the world. Like, there's nothing better than it.
Sounds awesome, man.
It's amazing.
And then, decent amount of good wine. Everybody's
Yeah,
having a good
it's a fun
time. Maybe
time.
put a little charcuterie board out. You know?
Exactly. We got
think
the,
it would be-
the
yeah.
charcuterie board.
Yeah.
You already know.
You
Tonight,
already know.
by myself, I had my little cheese and crackers, and I
This
had
was
my
not.
wine.
No. This
I was watching right here.
This was a makeshift one.
Well, we didn't have the big extravaganza as we usually do, but I had to do something.
Yeah, you didn't go all out like Thursday nights.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely something to watch with friends, and I'm always a sucker for a good excuse to hang out, a good excuse to drink,
yeah.
a good excuse to party.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's a get together, and like it's a fun one. The show, I'm not gonna go and tell you it's the best show ever and it's super real or whatever.
So what made
It's entertainment.
Of course, and entertainment has value always to me. If it's entertaining, fuck it. So why was this season? Why was the unique drama this season?
I didn't answer the question.
Well, why was it disappointing?
Oh, so my thing was the kind of just like it was a lot of drama with the women in the house, which happens, but it seemed to be extra strong this season.
Really?
And he wasted like many of the dates and many of the shit just like dealing with the drama.
Oh, for real? Just like addressing
So, like,
them talking about the drama
Let
to
me
him.
give you some background a little bit here. So they would have like a group date, right? Which is like there's like 12 women or something, and he has it's like a cocktail party. They get their drinks.
I know the concept of the group date
Yeah.
from seasons past.
Exactly. And so they each get like some one-on-one time with him within the date, right?
Okay.
They all hang out, and then he pulls one away each at a time.
Yeah.
And usually they all get a chance. If it's a big one, maybe one or two girls don't get a chance, and it's like, oh, time's up. But in this case, all those situations would be like he talks to one or two girls, and then some crazy drama happens, right? Like, I need to talk to you. This girl is bullying someone else in the house, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets flustered. He says, "Fuck the date." He like walks off and does some dramatic shit, right? Talks to the bully. Sends her home as he should.
Oh.
And then is like, "I've had such a long night. I'm not going to talk to anyone else. We're just going to do roses right now."
Yeah.
And so he didn't really build a lot of relationships.
Okay, this was like his thing. This is not the commonality.
It happens in every season, but it seemed to happen extra this season.
Gotcha.
So that's especially why it was pretty clear who was going to go far and who wasn't. There was girls who got really far.
Yeah.
I want to say Serena C. I actually have the list here for me to pull it up. Let me check. Yeah, Serena C. Because Serena P was the
You said you like Brie the most, right?
She was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I don't see it on the list. Whatever. So Serena C, I think she got to like top 7 or top 8, and I barely saw any conversations with her and the main guy.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So pretty much what I'm saying is that like he had his favorites.
Yeah.
And like he didn't really explore anything else. So you knew the whole time. So the first half was like a waste of time.
Yeah.
You get to the second half, it's like the top 5 or 6 girls you know he's actually interested in.
Yeah.
And then 2 of them like go home on their own. They're like, I don't really want to get married actually.
Is that common?
It happens. It's usually
is that not a good thing? Is that not entertaining, or is that entertaining?
It's tough because you want, I guess the most entertaining is like some drama, but not too much to be like, this is super fake.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You want it to be real. Like, so the extraordinary version of The Bachelor is Love Island. I bet you've heard of Love Island.
I love Love Island, actually. I have seen that one.
So that's Bachelor.
I've seen a couple episodes of I would be lying if I actually stuck with like, this is my first time ever watching The Bachelor. This is my first time watching it this season for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You guys wrote me into it a little bit, but Love Island is fucking hysterical.
Right. So that's Bachelor on crack. That's Bachelor 2.0.
That's Bachelor 2.0.
Where it's all drama.
Yeah.
Nothing's real.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The Bachelor's somewhere in the middle. Because what they say with The Bachelor is the drama and the extraness.
Yeah. Look at her, mate. Look at her.
We got some fucking rockets coming into the villa tonight. How am I supposed to stay with Sandy if these fucking rockets...
Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that there, lad. Oh, yeah, a couple nice birds coming in. Oh, God, lad. Oh, God.
And then it's a global thing, though. I was in Spain, and every household watched Isla de Tentacion.
Isla de Tentacion?
Temptation Island. Love Island, right?
Love Island, yeah.
They're all based off the Bachelor
version?
That's Isla de Tentacion.
Oh, man, that's lit.
Did you not realize I was just talking in Spanish?
No. I did. I thought it was the same show, Love Island, with like Spanish dub.
Oh,
it's
no.
Its own show.
With Spanish people.
It's its own fucking show. So this show is a global thing, just in different...
There's different versions all across the globe. There's an Australian one. They're all over, right?
That's pretty lit.
There's even like...
the Brits probably do it the best past the Americans.
There's another one, a Japanese show called Something House. It's Japanese or Korean. I don't want to get it wrong, but it's a similar show. It's kind of like Real World, where it's like people live in a house and they... You know, there's a ton of shows like this, all based off The Bachelor, truly. So The Bachelor is like... Some of it's real because in the end, they have to get engaged, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So there's like real life consequences. Love Island, they do all this shit. They could say they're in love and then they break up the week after the show. Who cares?
Yeah.
This is like, oh no, y'all got to get married now.
Oh.
Right? So it's like, you can fuck around. It's a joke and then it gets real.
Yeah.
So it's 2 parts. It's like the drama, crazy shit. And then like, oh shit, who's he going to get engaged to?
Yeah.
This season, there was a lot of the crazy shit, a lot of the Love Island shit, which was fun.
Yeah.
But then it was like, he was never going to get engaged to anyone.
Yeah.
No one was a strong front runner. And he broke up with the girl within a couple months of the show ending. So he just had the drama part and nothing ended up happening.
Yes, but that is
so
entertainment.
But it's disappointing. It's a disappointing ending, right?
Damn. Okay, it's not picturesque, but I mean, it's not bad television.
It wasn't bad. I wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I didn't like Colton's season. I think he was he's 3 Bachelors ago. He was the worst season. His gimmick was
worst.
Worse than this
like,
one.
Oh wow!
I don't know about the worst.
Like worst
ever.
season.
Some people say Juan Pablo was the worst ever. Juan Pablo famously just picked no one at the end, and it kind of
like this guy.
Different because it was pretty clear to him he like barely spoke English. He was like a soccer player. I think he just wanted to fuck bitches, dude. Excuse my French. I think
he
Juan
wanted
Pablo would have
to woo some ladies, Alex. We are talking about The Bachelor.
I'm saying that's what Juan Pablo would have said, right?
It is what Juan Pablo would have said. It sounds like he's the kind of guy.
So he's known as like one of the worst bachelors ever. Funny enough, my dad's name is Juan Pablo. But that's like a worse
JP's
one.
out here, baby.
Yeah.
JP's out here.
So Colton's season, which was 2 ago, I thought Pete's was worse, and I thought the other guy in the middle was whatever too. Colton, his gimmick was he was a virgin. He was the first virgin on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
And when it got to the fantasy suites, it got like, oh, is he gonna fuck him? Blah blah blah, and he didn't. And then he picked this girl, and they didn't work out. He became a weird stalker. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
It's all the same. They're all like there's a standard. There's a bare minimum that they all do.
Yeah.
So it fuels the Bachelor fire, but there's some hitter seasons. Ben Higgins.
What's the Ben Higgins?
To me was my favorite.
Ben Higgins.
It might just been the time of my life that I watched it, but his big thing was at the end, I think in his final 3 or final 2. So there's like a rule in The Bachelor.
Yeah.
It's really to save the Bachelor or Bachelorette themselves is you cannot tell one of the contestants, I love you. Because then that's giving away who wins. Right? If it's the final 5 and he's like, I love you, and he doesn't say I love you to the other 4 girls, come on.
So they're not.
Who's going to win?
What can The Bachelor pull the move of telling all 5 of them?
Ben Higgins told 2 different women that he's in love with them.
Oh, Ben Higgins, my guy.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the reaction right there where you're just like, oh, my boy fucked up.
Oh, so that's
Fuck.
That's like a fuck up in an entertaining way.
Yes.
So this wasn't a very entertaining fuck up.
And it's more real than like the, I'm a queen, I hate you, oh my God, all these girls are fake. It's more just like, oh, he just told 2 different women he's in love with them. Now get this. The other girls don't know that he did that.
So there's still 2 more?
Till they watch the season afterwards. So there's 2 girls. He tells them both he loves them. In the end, he picks one. Then they're sitting on the couch, with his fiance, and they're watching the season back, and she's like, you told her that you're in love with her a week before you proposed to me? And then it's like, my guy fucked up, right? And that's real world implications. Bro. Now his fiance is like, yo, what the fuck did you say? Was I the
This
backup?
sounds like good television.
See, here we go.
This sounds interesting.
I've been trying to pitch this to Matt for I don't know how
long time.
It took
a lot of people in college did it too, but
Yes.
Something about the
I get it.
sanctity of my Monday night didn't seem like I wanted ABC's The Bachelor.
I totally get it. It's one of those things that like if I wasn't already hooked on it, would I get into it? No, of course. But
you're hooked.
I'm a part of Bachelor Nation. There's nothing I can do.
Bachelor Nation.
I'm in now.
But it sounds
whether I like
this
it or
Ben
not.
Higgins
Great
season
season.
sounds amazing.
On
This
Hulu,
sounds
you can
like
watch
some
the
of the
old
best
ones.
television.
That was
out.
one of my favorites. The girl who got 4th place, I think her name was Kayla. She was my favorite that year.
Yeah.
And they didn't end up working out. They usually never end up working out. Of course, The Bachelorette works out more often than not because the girls obviously have much better taste than the guys
like
do.
a better idea of what they're looking for and what they can live with.
Exactly.
And
Everyone kind of has a favorite between The Bachelor and The Bachelorette.
Which do you prefer?
I'm pretty split. Like the guy in me's like, I like The Bachelor. There's like fucking 30 hot girls, bro. Right?
Yeah.
But every true Bachelor fan knows that the season is not about the contestants. It's about the main Bachelor or Bachelorette. Right? So if I really fuck with The Bachelorette, that's the best season possible. If The Bachelorette is super cool, that's going to be my favorite season.
Gotcha.
Because the show, the girls can be whoever. The show is really about the main person, regardless of anything else.
Okay.
They get the most screen time, right? If you're a guy and you're like, I like looking at all the hot girls, the 30 girls. I'm not going to watch The Bachelorette. That's 30 hot dudes.
But this sounds more entertaining.
But if you
maybe.
really like the one girl, you're going to watch the season because it's mostly her.
The dudes on Love Island are my favorite part.
So
honestly, they're the funniest.
The dudes are very funny.
So good, dude. It's so funny. The things that they say, at times, sure, demeaning, but for the most part, hilarious.
Yeah,
for the most part,
we're laughing at them. We're laughing at them.
At
if they're
them
saying
completely.
fucked up things, we're saying, wow, you're fucked up. Fuck you. Ha ha ha.
Kinda, but it's not that passionate of a
Of
fuck
course
you.
not.
It's just like, dude,
We're not watching it that
this
hard.
is great. This is funny. It's
Yeah.
like Mark Maron joke, the alpha pussy. I'm the alpha pussy. Those guys are all
I
like
don't get
typical
that joke.
alphas. I
Explain.
am like,
Explain the joke and make it not funny.
make it completely not funny. I'm the alpha pussy, dude. I'm the guy that makes fun of the regular alphas.
Yes,
But am not an alpha. I'm not in their
Exactly.
world.
You're
And
in that in-between.
Mark Maron's is way funnier.
I know what
way
mean.
funnier.
I think a lot of people fall in that category.
But that's what I mean. Like, that's why those alphas to me are fucking hilarious.
Yes.
It's hysterical because that's like my main thing that I like to rip on.
what you're saying
I'm
is
not.
we also fall in that category.
I know. I speak for myself. I'm not. I would not consider myself a typical alpha.
I would, if I said so, I would be lying. Yeah.
But all the guys on Love Island are, it's fucking
or think they are,
or think they are. Yeah, or think they are.
I mean,
definitely, probably.
We can go into the definition of like what a true alpha man is.
No, I'm talking. But I know jokingly. Exactly,
we're talking
like,
about
this is
Chad.
A joking term. Yeah,
Chad humor, right?
Chads,
there was
bro.
actually a famous guy on. I want to say it was JoJo's season. I want to say his name was Chad or whatever the fuck his name was. And he was like the super douchiest guy trying to fight guys all the time. That's the good for the Bachelorette season is like the guy who's like, no, I don't fuck with you, bro. Like, and they're trying to start beef. But the Bachelor, a lot of the guys are just like, they get way too drunk. They jump in the pool with their clothes on.
And they homie out.
They kind of, they
bro out.
They always bro out. The girls bro out too. Like the girls are like, always besties by the end.
Oh, for
that's
real?
a really cool part.
Especially the ones that get like kicked off, huh?
Totally. If you don't like, I guess if you were second place and first place, you guys might not be best friends because you were fighting over the same guy or something.
Yeah.
Most of the girls like, you went through this similar experience. It's like maybe I was about to say pledging for a frat, but not like that. But just like you went into this boot camp type shit together. You were stuck in this house together for 4 months. Your emotions put to the test.
Yeah.
You're doing all this crazy shit.
And you're on national television.
You're not doing any, you don't work. You don't do anything but pursue the love of this one guy and hang out with these other girls.
Huh.
So you're going to become friends.
This is not like a bad 4 months.
If I could go on, I would go on.
Maybe I'll
just
get
for
shredded
that part.
one day and just
that's the only thing is you have to get pretty shredded.
Super shredded and maybe a little facial reconstruction.
But dude, yeah, you kind of
some hair implants.
Change your name to Chad. Well, that's another big thing is.
What do you say, ABC? What do you say?
I can't wait for the dad bod Bachelor. I want like a. let me think of like an example of what I want. Not like a fat guy, dude, but maybe like a.
Wait, didn't you say you said you saw the ad for like 60-year-olds and up looking for love? Are they going to do geriatric Bachelor?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what that was for. They wanted like elder people.
Are they actually going to do it?
Something. I would love.
Have you confirmed?
A 60. No confirmation.
Bummer.
It's all Bachelor Nation room. Bachelor Nation Twitter definitely knows what's going on. I don't. I'm not in that deep. But that would be really interesting. I would love to see a 60+ Bachelor. That'd be super fun.
Yeah.
But there's a ton of spin-offs to these shows. There's like Love is Blind, which is like the same thing, but they don't see each other.
Yeah.
There's a ton of different things. It's just reality TV. It's all garbage. It's all trash. It's all entertainment though.
Yeah.
And when you can share that with someone, I think it's pretty fun.
Okay.
But generally speaking, yeah, I always recommend The Bachelor. I want everyone to get in on it with me. Maybe it's bad. Maybe it's like a drug. It's like, yeah. It's like, what does Donnie say?
Smoke crack with me, Jordy.
Smoke crack with me, Jordy.
Smoke crack with me, Jordy.
Come on, Jordy. Smoke crack with me,
smoke
Jordy.
crack with me.
Watch The Bachelor with me, Matt. Come on, watch The Bachelor. Wow. Isn't the show so good? Like,
let's run like lions and tigers and bears.
Like, that's how it feels to watch The Bachelor. It's like you hate it, and then before you know it, you're just like, oh my God, what is she doing? Just like the most insane.
There are H-box level pop-offs for The Bachelor.
Oh my God, dude, so many times. I watched it with one of my coworkers, and it's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
You're back in the work week. You're like, oh, shit fucking sucks. And
But
you're like,
Monday night.
and then you're like, oh my God,
It's fucking
did
Monday.
you see what Matt did last night? Oh my God, and then it's so much fun. It's just like it's another
the gossip
fun thing.
behind? Is the talk of The Bachelor more fun than watching The Bachelor?
Way better. It's
So
about the interaction.
I know I'm uneducated, but what do you think Twitter is going to be? What's the conversation to engage in? What's likely going to be?
So it's definitely going to be memes or clips of the show.
Okay.
It's so cringe sometimes, dude. The cringiest shit.
Like when she was rubbing his arm tonight, right? You
For
said you
example-
were like cringe.
So for example, Rachel, the girl who won, spoilers, and Matt, they met up at the finale tonight where they meet live, quote unquote. And he was like struggling to get the words out. And she was like rubbing him and making him feel okay. She's like, it's okay. And they had just broken up.
Get back with me.
And he doesn't fuck with her. And I was like, this is so cringe. This is her just being like, I'm still in love with you. And he's just like, I'm trying to explain why I don't fuck with you. And you're rubbing up on me right now.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, please stop. Because it's just like, it's human interaction live is what you're seeing.
Yeah.
And if someone recorded me live, 90% of my day is cringe as fuck. Just me like earlier today, you were standing in front of the fridge and I was trying to go to the fridge and I walked up, I hesitated, I backpedaled. I was like, should I walk around the entire island just to get to the fridge? Oh, maybe I'll just tap him. Maybe. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go for it. Hey, I got it. Thanks. Put the water in the fucking fridge. I was like, why did I do that? Why did I think that much? And so
gotcha. And you think if that was on film, like it would have been noticeable that
dude,
I didn't even notice that. I did not notice that.
Of course not. But if there's cameras rolling 24/7, they're gonna catch some of the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
People being like, it's not even bad. Like to me, I'm not embarrassed by that. Like it's just part of what happens sometimes. Everyone goes through it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be like, yeah, I'm the fucking guy. I just fucking said, get out the way, Matt. I'm going to the fridge. Like, I was just fucking, you know.
I would have laughed hysterically if that's how you would say it.
I know. I wish I could have just
move,
done
bitch.
that.
Get out the way.
You know? And sometimes I do that. It was whatever mindset I was in or whatever. And I was just like, oh, shit. Like, I was just working. But definitely,
which happens.
If you're recording everything, there's going to be a lot of that. And so there's
we notice it when we talk.
Yes.
Imagine the cameras with you 24/7.
With someone you're trying to fall in love with on a competitive game show, and you only get so much time. So imagine this: you only get like 10 minutes to talk to this guy, and if you blow it in front of national TV.
So you brought up something interesting to me tonight when we were watching the finale. Right? You said that. Because this is a speculative claim.
Sure.
It's a speculative claim that you made. You basically said that sometimes, and a lot of the time, you think, maybe not, maybe I think this.
Sure,
maybe
ask the question. I'll let you know.
These girls think they're in love with this man after 2 months, and is the success rate not great? Because maybe sometimes, like, and how is it compare between the Bachelor and Bachelorette of them actually working out for the long term? Because do these guys also just think they're in love? They've only known this girl for 2 months. 9 months down the line, or when kids get involved. You know what I mean? So, like, this is an interesting thing. How many people think it's real? Like, or is it real? Can it be real?
So it is and it isn't. So off first Google search, the first thing
Am I being too analytical? Is this not regular talk?
No, this is the real thing. This is the real thing
okay.
we talk about.
Gotcha.
So
is she really in love with him?
It looks like Bachelorette is 30% success, while Bachelor's 11. Not surprised at all. Another big one is they give a first impression rose. He only gets like 5 minutes with every girl on the first night, and he has to give a rose up to the girl that really struck him. The guy has, I think, never picked or almost never picked the girl who he gives the first impression rose at the end. The Bachelorette, it's pretty common.
Really?
Like, if you get the first impression rose, there's a good chance you'll win.
Wow.
Like, you always make it pretty far. Because I don't know what it is. I'm not a girl, but they just know. They know what they want, and they're like, hey, blah, blah, blah. This is my guy. I fuck with this, blah, 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 blah. I wish I had that kind of sense, but I would probably not give my first impression rose.
I don't.
I would just be like, oh, wowza. Okay, first impression rose. And then I'm like, oh, I hate you.
Vibrator girl probably would have gotten mine.
So Katie was a good shout. Katie, Katie, the next Bachelorette, she brought out a vibrator.
Oh, she's the next. You were right. He was right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I told you.
You were right.
I said it from the whole time.
You watch this shit too much, man.
It's because it's the same thing. Once you figure out the pattern, you just know. That's why Jack and I bet on who's going to win the season. We bet on our top 5. Every year, we get 2, at minimum, 2 of our 3 are in the top 5. Like, we do 2 real picks, and then we do a passion pick. So, like, a girl we like, but we know isn't going to get far, right? My passion pick this year was Serena P., who I was like, she seems fun. She's funny. I don't think she'll win, though. And she got 4th.
Wow.
Which is pretty solid. I was surprised.
Your passion pick got 4th.
Yeah. And then my other ones were Rachel and Brie, who got first and third, excuse me.
Gotcha.
But
that was initial. This was before you found out Rachel had gone
this is the first episode.
The party.
Yeah.
So this wasn't, how was this, they don't vet that shit before the season?
They do, but like,
Sometimes it flies under.
It was a picture from her 3 years ago that probably wasn't on social media, and then someone who knew her blew her out. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Blew it up.
That means maybe someone at that party was
Very
the
fair.
one.
It was like a selfie with her and 2 other girls at the party wearing the antebellum dresses, which is like, for those who don't know, kind of like the antebellum essentially means the pre-Civil War era. In the South, that's like celebrating time of having slaves, right? Obviously, it's not a good look, and it's not a good thing to do. It's very ignorant. The guy on the show who they replaced Chris Harrison, who has been the show for 20 years, who pretty much tried to defend her. Yeah. And it was the way he did it was not, I kind of see what he was going for. He was trying to say like, oh, she was just young and ignorant and didn't know. Yeah. But he was really defending her taking that stance, and that's not true. You could say she was ignorant, she didn't know, but that also means that's a problem. She needs to not be ignorant.
Oh, so he just didn't address the problem.
He said,
and that's apparently what he said tonight, right? Yes. Like that indicated that she still hasn't learned in a weird way.
Pretty much what Chris Harrison said, is that a problem in 2018 or is that a problem in 2021? Because like it wasn't a problem then, but it's a problem now. It's like, no, Chris, it's always been a problem.
It's a problem then and now.
He took a bad take for sure. He was wrong. Was what he said?
Poorly worded, or is he just kind of?
I didn't watch it, so I would hate to be one of those people who just saw the headline and just told you what it was. But that's at least what I remember. Pretty much what he did though is he didn't condemn what she said. He tried to defend her, and I think part of why he defended her was because he knew that she won, right? Oh, so it would look worse for the show, right? He's a reflection of the show. For the show, it looks bad that the first black bachelor picked a racist girl to win, right? So I think for him, he was trying to be like, oh, like it's not end of the world, like it's not that bad, it's gonna be okay, right? So that they would maybe stay together or the show looks good, right? Yeah. He sold out for them, and then he became the sacrificial lamb. They cut him off, and they put this new guy on.
Do you think the producers told him to say that shit?
No, but I think he's been doing the show for so long that he just
knew.
An extension of the show. You know, he's one arm of the show.
Do you think that if they told him to say it and he got canceled for it, they'd fire him anyway?
Yes.
Wow. They're really invested in this shit.
And honestly, I don't doubt that Chris Harrison could be a racist or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to like defend him.
I think it could.
It's one and the same.
I think there's the potential. All I'm saying, fuck him either way. I don't care. I don't watch this shit.
I don't give a fuck.
But
I fuck with Jeff Probst. I hope he didn't do anything bad. Shout out Survivor.
It sounds like it could have been the producers that told him to defend this girl, possibly because they also know they're in on the marketing scheme.
He definitely got a briefing from them of some sort. Of course,
of some sort.
They were always in on this.
But you don't think they influenced his response? Do you think it was maybe just how he?
I think it's both. It's obviously both how he individually feels and, of course, the influence from the show. We'd be silly to say that the show didn't have an influence. When this broke, the producers
was this huge on social media?
Yes, dude, it was massive. Fuck. I mean, the fact that, and then it got bigger and bigger as it got farther along, and those of us who are tuned in were like, "Oh my god!" Like I knew since Final Four, I'm like, she's gonna win the show, and this happened. You know what I mean? So it was immediately like, oh, this is bad. It's a bad look for the show. And so I think they were kind of covering their tracks that way. Regardless, what he said was not it. Whether the show told them or he told them, he should not have said what he said.
But that's my point. I do think it matters whether or not the show told them. If this is a whole phenomenon of like, does the girl really love him or not? The producers are at play here, right? Okay. So how fucked is it if this guy was just told by the producers to say something to like, yo, she's going to win, so you need to save this? Yeah. Says it, gets canceled, now he's fired.
Well, I will tell you this. If that's the case, you know he's getting a nice severance package.
True.
He's getting paid for the rest of his life.
True.
We would be silly to be like, he's fired and his life is ruined.
They would sit down and explain, hey, you don't get to do The Bachelor anymore, but here's your life.
This guy's been The Bachelor host since it started. He has millions, dude. He's Botox, plastic surgery up. He looks like he just got young. He's okay. He's okay. Okay. I'm not worried about him.
That's what I said. Fuck him either way. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Seriously, I don't give a shit. Yeah.
About Chris
fucking
Harrison.
cancel him. Don't cancel him.
Whether the show told him or not, I bet they took care of him.
Yeah.
But my point is just that, like, it's the show as a whole, though, is the issue. The show, obviously, if it took them this long to get their first black bachelor, I used to always joke. It was like, I was like, it would be silly. Like, they'd always have a diverse cast from the start.
Oh.
But it would immediately become almost all white girls, maybe like one or two black girls.
Yeah.
Within the first couple episodes. Partially that's because the guy who's choosing, right, which was always a white guy and always a white girl.
Uh-huh.
And also the show picks. The show picks mostly, they say who the bachelor asks for, but they mix it up. But I used to joke, it was like, why do you have an Asian guy on the season of The Bachelorette? There's no way he's going to get past the first round. Because that's how the show would go. Not saying that, like, they shouldn't have the representation there, but I was like, it's silly because the show was going to kick him off anyway. Like, they had this one guy who was like, his whole joke was like, he's Scotch Korean, like the Skittles commercial.
Yeah.
He was half Scottish, half Korean.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this guy's sick.
That was a great commercial.
Right? Great reference. He came with the kilt. I was like, I'm fuck with my guy. Like, this is funny,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, that's at least enough to get you past the first episode. Gone.
First episode? Always gone first episode?
Almost always. They're getting better at it now, but if you've been watching for a while, it was a joke. No Asian girl, very few black girls, any person of color was immediately off the show within like the first week or two.
Again, that's got to be like what? Racist ratings?
The thing is,
Right? Because I feel like they're just motivated by ratings.
So I think that's the argument.
So white people,
is that their viewership is a heavily white fan base, so they appeal to that, right?
Yeah.
So what I think they're trying to do, which is what I hope they're trying to do, is they're slowly trying to transition that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I bet there was a lot of white ladies who were like, they made a black bachelor? This isn't the Bachelor I know, and they got mad about it, right?
Yeah.
But maybe they gave it a shot, and then they go, and this guy, I think, like, he talks about it in the post review where he's like, it was a lot of pressure being the first black bachelor.
Yeah.
Like, I'm representing what a lot of people's image of a black person is, right? I don't want to speak on this too much because I'm not a black guy. I don't know. But
we also don't know the true ratings and demographics of The Bachelor.
But it's definitely a lot of fucking blonde white ladies who watch The Bachelor, right? Like, duh. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe
and
the
so
Midwest.
He was saying, like,
I'd be interested to see where the heavy ratings come from.
It's a lot of that, but
it's a big thing on
It's
Twitter.
A phenomenon.
It is a phenomenon. That's what I'm saying. So, like,
and so in that aspect,
we're just a racist country. We're just a racist country.
But like what I'm trying to say is this guy, I think, hopefully convince some of those ladies to go, hey, not every black person is a bad person, which should be so easy, right? But we have to think
The Bachelor.
But it takes. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, some of these people who've never interacted with a black person or scared of black people or whatever it is, maybe they see this and they go, yo, he's a pretty good guy. And he was a great guy on the show. He was straight up with the women.
And he said this, and he actually said in the post that this was part of the pressure. It took him this long.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's kind of the only reason I'd bring it up is because he said it. He said that was a part of it. Like, he wanted to show.
And the whole this whole
world.
season was clearly like ended in some kind of weird, not conspiracy is the wrong word because it's proven. So some racist scandal of some sort.
It didn't come without the drama of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that probably every black person experiences. Is that
interesting?
That's what they say in the show. Is the host is like, I walk around every day thinking, hey, maybe I'm the first black person this person encounters. I want to be a good representation of my people, right? And so this guy maybe is that for thousands, if not millions. So it is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And I think he handled it well. I would say on how they view the person, he was one of the best guys who could have done it. I liked him more than a lot of the other guys on the season, and he was great. And I think
did the COVID season.
It's tough.
He took the heat of the COVID season too.
So I think he handled it well. I hope maybe this changed some people's mind or opened some people's minds who weren't already there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it definitely was a pressure for him. But it was cool to see. And they're starting to get there. They had a black bachelorette. They're starting to mix it up. I think it's going to be at least 5 years till they have like an Asian or a Middle Eastern bachelor or bachelorette. But they're finally getting there.
I feel like it's weird that they haven't just like change it every season. Just literally new race every season.
So,
why not? Like, it's America, dude.
The idea with the show,
plenty of.
Let me give you the context though. The way they picked the bachelorette or bachelor is a runner-up of the season before.
This guy was a runner-up on The Bachelorette?
He was an exception. He was the best friend of a runner-up on The Bachelorette. His best friend got super famous afterwards. He's like a model now.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
And he got like second or third place on the season before, right?
And so he was introduced during that season?
This is my assumption, but I bet Bachelor production was like, oh fuck, we need a black guy who's in the Bachelor. People become famous in the Bachelor world. If you get top 10, you become part of the scene, right?
You're marketable.
Right. And the Bachelor community knows you. So they pick from that grouping, probably the past couple seasons, right, of someone who was relevant or was a fan favorite. And so they said, well, fuck, we need a black guy to be Bachelor, but none of these white bachelorettes ever got a black guy that far. This guy's nice. He's perfect. He's good looking. Let's make him the Bachelor. They kind of forced their hand.
Yeah.
But I think it was necessary to kind of change the format, change the structure.
Of course it's necessary, because that's what I'm saying. Like, this is where it kind of sucks. It's like that ratings drive everything.
Yeah.
And data drives everything, because it's like, dude, super easy, quick fix. Like, keep up with the times. Not even just the times, just keeping up with being a decent American.
Being normal.
This is America.
Like, this is how
literally
it's an accurate representation of the country.
You could get so many different Americans of different every season. Just new one. Seriously, it doesn't mean you can't have no white bachelors or bachelorettes every fourth. Every fourth or fifth.
Sure. I think
sixth maybe.
The argument is you don't want it to be like an equation either. You don't want to be like, it's time for the Egyptian bachelor. It's time for the Pakistani bachelor. It's time for the Irish bachelor.
There's no way there's too many people. There's too many people to choose from.
Totally.
For that.
Come
on, man.
Saying,
Come on.
What you were suggesting was like every fourth. Like, you want it to be natural.
Ish,
right? That's what I'm saying.
As the whole show is.
So they need to update. They had to force their hand a little bit here.
Yeah.
So the natural thing, this is why I'm trying to give you more context. Usually the Bachelorette or Bachelor is like a top 4 contestant from the season prior or something like that.
And you're just saying it just always ends up being white people.
if it's a white girl, no black guy gets to the top 4, no Asian guy gets to the top 4.
Ever?
How the fuck are they going to become a fan favorite if they get kicked off on the first episode? You see? So that's why they had to force their hand here. It happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So then they kind of overpushed it, which is fine to get the ball rolling.
And then this shit happened.
Right.
Whoa.
But the runner-up, Michelle, a black lady, is going to be the other Bachelorette. They're doing 2 consecutive Bachelorette seasons. So they picked the vibrator girl.
Wow.
Who's the white girl. And Michelle, who's the black girl who got second.
Double ratings now.
They're going to have 2 separate seasons.
I know. Which ratings are going to do better?
We're going to find out.
That's what I want to know, because it just seems like ratings drives everything, right? Like, that's how TV works. That's how entertainment in general works.
It's how capitalism works. Sorry, what was that? Who said that?
The ghosties in the room.
But no, totally.
How did we turn The Bachelor into that? Hey, stop. This is Bachelor night, baby. We got the red wine out. Stop with your fucking communist bullshit.
But that's exactly that, though. The rich get richer. If like only white people make the top 4, and a white guy's going to be the next Bachelorette. And so they had to mix up the system. And now that it should be mixed up, hopefully it'll be fixed from here.
Yeah.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Because that's how it should be. But we'll have to wait and see. I think both seasons will do well. Michelle's really great. She's super nice. I felt like she deserved to win. She kind of did everything right in my mind.
Yeah.
Katie, same thing. They just weren't aligned.
Okay.
Katie, to me, was funnier. Michelle seemed pretty funny.
Yeah.
But Katie was the dildo girl. Like, she was super funny.
Yeah.
She's older. She's 30. I'm personally excited for Katie's season, but I think they're both going to be good. I'll probably watch both.
For sure. I'm interested. I want to see if the bro levels in America on The Bachelor for the ratings match the vibes of Love Island. Or are you just gonna tell me right away they don't?
They don't, but the bros.
So then I'd be wasting my time.
The bros are pretty bros. They're all jacked, and
that's not why I watch the bros though. I mean, like, okay, sometimes I'm like, man, that dude's jacked. That dude, I would like to look like.
They don't
that.
all act like that though, but a lot of them do. There's a solid amount.
Funny. Love Island. I think the British slang does it for me though.
That's part of it too. It's just funny to see the accents and everything.
Look at what we got here, lads. Look at, oh god, we got some rockets, some birds.
It does make it funnier.
Fuck.
That's why the Spanish one is so good. You have to understand Spanish a little bit, but
Looking
it's
for a proper snog.
even with subtitle,
tonight.
it's fucking funny.
Love Island.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a million of those shows. Bachelor is the truest one, so like I'll watch the OG just because I'm stuck with it now.
And you're American.
But there's a lot of
Represent the homeland, bro.
true, but there's a lot of problems with it, and I think they're starting to fix it. But like I said, tell me when we get the first Asian Bachelor. Like that's gonna be a long time, and they need to that's got to happen eventually. Or
I just think
something.
Okay, yes. So I think it's a larger. Right, here's my comment on here's my real take on The Bachelor. Real takes on The Bachelor.
Real takes on
for
The
doing
Bachelor.
podcast style. I think that yes, the fact that exists is evidence of a larger problem. Of course, institutional racism. To me and you, that shit's not a secret.
That this
shit's
is
not.
This is like literally built into all these men and women who are on the show. Even you see it.
I think the reason that it is institutional, though, is not maybe because the people running The Bachelor or the people on The Bachelor or the host is racist. It's literally just a country problem, and their ratings, they're going to go based on the ratings. I mean, sure, is there an equal possibility that a lot of these guys are racist and do it on purpose? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, there's that possibility. But I just, want to put it out there that they go off of ratings alone. Like, right? That's
I see what you're saying.
That's why I kept bringing up the ratings thing. Like,
if it's
just
like
that's,
oh, we have a white girl here and a black girl here, the white girl has more ratings. We'll just do her.
Yeah,
I see what
because
you're saying.
that's what I was wondering with do they really love each other too? It's a television show. How much are the producers the puppet masters?
So
how do we know they didn't tell this fucking host to say it? It went badly, and they're like, "Here's your severance package.
Yeah.
Here's goodbye, bro."
I didn't really answer that question. I do want to get into the psychology thing, but last thing on the kind of the race part of it, I think that's very true. I think the show is a part of it too, because the show and the viewers have their own standard of what beauty is and stuff like that, and I don't think that's accurate to what the masses might think.
Problems with The Bachelor.
I could go in on why The Bachelor's so fucked up.
Yeah,
and a lot of people have come out and spoken about it. They say it's not just that, it's the staff, it's the camera crew, it's the whole beast, right?
Yeah.
And then on a larger scale, you could say that's Hollywood on a whole, right?
Continue.
So we don't need to go on all of that, but
No.
I think there's a lot of changes that need to be made, of course. But I'm not completely gonna just drop them because of it. We'll see how this goes. I think they're trying to make steps in the right direction. Maybe they keep this new host. I actually really liked him. I thought he was great on After the Rose. I forget his name. He's a former NFL player. Just because this was the first time he was on, but he was really great. So maybe we'll see this go in a new direction. I'm gonna stay tuned. We'll see. If they keep up with the times, or if they don't. And if they don't, they'll fall off because that's what happens. But you mentioned earlier about the psychology of The Bachelor that I never answered.
Because it's interesting. They think they're in love. 2 months.
So
2 months they know each other.
I'll say this. So
they knew Matt James for 2 months.
Let's put it into context, right?
Have you ever been in love in 2 months?
No. We're going way back.
It only happened once.
It only happened to me 27 times, so I don't think it's very likely it'd happen on TV.
I said once.
So anyway, let's wind it all the way back, right? You're a contestant. You're a girl or a guy or whoever applying to be on The Bachelor. You live a regular life like us. You're just a regular guy. You have your friends. No one knows who you are. And you get accepted to go on The Bachelorette, right? And you're like, oh, fuck. I'm going to be on national TV for millions to watch. You're like, oh, shit, right? You get there. And you're like, oh, shit, I want to stay on TV. I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to go home. So you're doing the show. And the way to stay on the show is to make the main guy, the main girl like you, right? So what are you going to do? You want to stay on the show. I'll make the main girl like me. Right? You're going to pull out all the stops.
Yes,
You're going to do your thing.
Inevitably go wrong if I were the one to make it on The Bachelor.
Okay.
But yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I would go hard in the paint.
You would do what you think would be work best for you to stay on the show, which is make you to like her the most, right?
Yes.
Then you're in it, right? And then a lot of people get weeded out. You're still on the show. Oh shit, I'm doing okay. Okay, yo, my Instagram followers are going up. I'm gonna get famous off this shit. This shit's gonna be cool. Maybe right? And then you're like,
Maybe I don't want to get married.
okay, we're getting there. Then you go, oh, to stay on, I have to tell her I'm falling in love with her. It's usually steps. That's I'm falling in love with you, and then I'm in love with you in like final 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay, I'm falling in love with you. And you're like, oh shit, yeah, okay, I'm gonna stay. And then your final 3, oh, I'm in love with you. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I
Final
got the
2.
suite and you're great in bed.
Yeah. Oh, we're fucking. This
Yo,
is fire.
Wait, dude, the Bachelorette, is it still 3?
Yeah,
So for the
same
fantasy
format,
suites,
same
right?
format.
Fantasy
Yeah.
suite.
Yeah.
Man,
You're just trying to make top 3.
you're just trying to make top 3 the whole time. That's all you're trying to do.
I'm just joking. I have a theory that some bachelors pick a girl. Whoever goes out third is the girl he just wanted to slam.
In the mind, the most is the one he wants
but
to
he
sleep
never
with
knew
the
would
most.
win. And like this season was Bree. I loved Bree. She was one of my favorites. And I think he just wanted to slam and then let her go. Which is fucked up.
Excuse the way I put this, but he just beat the cheeks and ran, bro.
This motherfucker. But anyway. So back to the context of this all, right?
Yeah.
So you're in the show and your mentality is like, I gotta win, right?
Yeah.
And my job here, you're not doing anything else. You don't have
Yeah.
a job, you don't have work. All you do is think about this girl all day.
Yeah.
How do you get her to like you? And how do you progress farther in the show? It's
Yeah.
a game show, right?
Yeah.
So you're focusing all your energy for a month or 2 into that. And then before you know it, you're pretty far in it. And there's girls who go to top 4, top 5, top 6 who go, they realize it gets too real and they go, oh shit, I don't want to get engaged right now. I'm 22. What the fuck? I'm not ready for this in my real
She was
life.
an NYU student this season?
There's a girl, 21-year-old kid. I think she was an NYU student still. Younger than us at this time.
Do you think if she didn't leave, he may have gone with her?
He really liked her. I don't
Really?
think she
'Cause
would.
you
She
said she
wouldn't
made
have
it far,
won.
right?
She got top 5 or 6. She got a solo date and she left on her own accord. So I think she would have done pretty well. I really liked her. And I think the way she went out was good. She didn't want to linger on it. Once it got too real for her, she was like, hey, I don't want to play you.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm down for this.
Yeah.
Let me hop off, which is fine. I would do
And
the
she
same
got a
thing.
cool experience out of it.
Right. But you get caught up.
21
You
on
get
The
caught up
Bachelor.
in it, right? And like, I think there's part of it that was like, that's all you're focusing on. It's a competition to love the guy the most, pretty much.
Yeah.
So of course you fall in love with the guy. There's never been a season where a girl gets to the end and is not in love with him, which is insane. Like if you're really going on like the odds of people who get married or something like that, right?
Yeah.
If you pick just 30 girls out of the 8 billion in the world,
Yeah.
and you're like, at least one of these is in love with you. It's
Yeah.
like, no. But then you put them in this environment and you can make them fall in love. Like, no matter who it is, they will fall in
I
love
was
with the Bachelor
laughing
in the
because
end.
of how picturesque like the proposal stage
Yes.
was.
Oh,
Like
it's
it's just
beautiful.
like, dude, like
Yeah.
elegant dress, like
They do the
suit
whole thing.
tie. Omar was looking fresh as hell.
Totally. And so I do think there is some psychology. I would love to do a paper on the psychology of being a contestant on The Bachelor or to be on The Bachelor themselves.
Do you think
or The
just
Bachelorette.
contestant on game show, or is it like different?
It's different because your true love is involved in your emotions. And that sometimes
Are
it
you tricked
actually
into,
works
so
out.
you are tricked into being in love sometimes, or not you? The contestants are
The-
tricked into being in love
The
sometimes.
process is fast forwarded.
Okay.
And I think sometimes they have a misunderstanding on their feelings because it's so fast.
Oh.
Not saying that they don't like the guy
Yeah.
and they think this could be something, but because of the situation and the intensity of how much you're focused on it,
Yeah.
they're just like, yeah, I guess I'm in love with you. Imagine that's all you're doing, dude, all day. Your only goal in life is to fall in love with this guy and make him fall in love with you.
For the time being.
Right.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
2 months of that. You're going to fall in love with him.
Fuck that.
It's just interesting to see the competitive mindset and the love mindset come into one. I'm a competitive person, right? If I was on the show, I would want to win, right?
I'm gonna pull out everything.
Right? But then now winning, the part of that winning is not just right. Like now, what's my what do they call it?
Yeah.
My like success. What are my requirements for success? What are they say it in like esports where it's like, what are my win conditions? That's what they talk about. What's my win condition? If I'm on The Bachelor, what's my win conditions? He needs to love me. I need to be banging hot. I gotta be funny, good personality, and I gotta be in love with him and show him how in love with him I am. So he reflects that, right? So I got to make sure he knows I like him, I love him, and then I got to get him to love me.
Doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like anything like cool could come of that. I mean,
but it works sometimes. Sometimes they get married and they have a happy marriage.
That's great. That's awesome. I'm not going to knock that.
Yeah.
I'm probably saying this because I'm sad and alone. But like I feel like the contrived nature of all of this for the most part, it's just like it seems like it's just kind of pushing out that idea that it's like the picturesque couple, you know what I mean? Like the
totally.
And 2 months. Do you? I would not know now at this point in my life with the knowledge that I hold. You got to feel people out. Personality matters so much more because you're spending off camera time with each other now. You're not on camera anymore unless you are. Unless you're an influencer.
They literally only get off camera time until they're one-on-one in the bedroom fantasy suite dates. So unless you get to the final 3, you never get that one-on-one.
You never get one-on-one. That's crazy.
I know.
That's nuts.
Now, that's what they say. I bet they get some time.
I know how the male brain works. He's constantly just like, wow, her, the whole time. He's not hearing a single fucking thing.
Yeah, it's like,
Either of them are saying, he's like, fuck, I'm with both of them.
Can we make out now? Okay,
cool. Like, that's got to be just fucking overload. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well,
no man is going to pick his true love in that format.
And that's why The Bachelorette does way better. Because guys are just like, huh? We're just fucking cartoons with our big eyes, and we're just like, huh? And then The Bachelorette's like, you're really hot, but you're an asshole. Go home. You know what I mean? I mean, a 30%.
Well, that's the thing. All of them are hot on that show, though, right? So they can get the hot, nice guy still by sending the hot assholes home because all of them are hot.
All of them are hot by the white America's culture standards, right?
Or just American culture standards? Do they never have racial minorities?
Sure.
Do they never have minorities on The Bachelorette either?
Like, it's very rare, bro. Like, it's very rare. There's never been a black... Everyone's been white till like a year or two ago to be the main on the show.
Just all of them?
So there've been like occasionally they're like a half Asian girl in there to like shake things up a little bit. Or like a black girl gets top 5 or top 6. But it's really, really rare. It's like wild.
So it's just jacked chads all the time?
Yes, and that's the fucked up part about it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Love
And
correct me if I'm wrong. From the little bit of Love Island that I've watched and enjoyed, it seemed quite diverse.
Well, it's also dependent on the country. Is it newer? It's also dependent on the country. If it's a country
I would say Britain's too much further ahead.
We're more diverse than the UK for sure.
Yeah, I would say so.
So, like, it's based on the country. But in America, you would think it's more diverse than what it is. And it's often not always the selection they pick. Maybe the beginning group is diverse, but the people who make it off of 1 or 2 episodes of cuts are not. So it's like, who are the people choosing that are so right? So it's maybe on the individuals. Who knows the production's influence on who stays and who goes?
Yeah, but
they definitely tell them like, hey, this girl, I know you're not gonna pick her, but she's great for the drama. Just keep her for like 4 weeks and then you can send her home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because they realistically probably they know their top 4 or 5 from the first
out
week.
Of all those people, both for the Bachelorette and Bachelor, there's gonna be at least 3 that you could marry. That's probably why the pool is so big, right? There's gonna be 3 in there that could potentially be an actual
and sometimes
viable marriage partner.
Sometimes they know right away. And they have to keep these other people on the show for the show to go on.
Yeah.
Recently, this Bachelorette actually canceled the show after just a couple weeks because she was like, I don't want to be unfair. I'm only really interested in this one guy. I want to get with him and just cancel the show. And I respected that a lot. She ruined the show. They had to get
ABC was probably pissed.
They had to get a new fill-in.
What do they do to her? Does she not get money? Does she just get the guy?
She's never coming back on the show.
Ever.
I bet not.
Ever.
Because they also do Bachelor in Paradise. Fucked them. Bachelor in Paradise is
not that that's a bad thing. I think she should have fucked them. That's great.
I agree.
I'm my verbiage there could have been misinterpreted. She should have fucked them.
Yeah.
But she fucked them nonetheless. So
I
they're
agree.
never having her back.
So the other show they do is more recently they started Bachelor in Paradise, which is Love
Yeah.
Island,
Yeah.
where it's half girls, half guys, and they couple up and they go through the whatever fucking.
Is that mostly
game
drama?
show.
Is that mostly?
It's mostly the drama. I actually really don't watch Bachelor in Paradise unless there's like a girl or a guy from a former season that I really like.
yeah.
It's pretty much contestants who are fan favorites but not strong enough to become the lead on the next season. They put them on that show.
Oh.
And those end up working out sometimes. And sometimes they're like weird, goofy people who are like fan favorites, but obviously not Bachelor types. You know, I mean, they're not like a big hunk or something like that.
Yeah.
Bachelor types to them. But that show is more it's Love Island pretty much.
Yeah.
More so. But you realize the show is not really about it working out. It's just this weird, you put in this bubble and this experiment and you try this experiment out and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I would love to see a more scientific study of the experiment. What are these people going through? What are these people thinking? But the thing is, no one will really tell the truth because if you win on the show, you get to top 4, and then afterwards you go, I was never really into him, I realized. I just was on there because I wanted to be famous. Then fuck, there goes your famous career, and you look like an asshole, and yada, yada, yada.
Because you said it. You just have to never admit it.
Yes.
That's all
But
you got to do is never admit it.
I would love someone to come on and be like, yeah, it was really weird. Like my mind and my emotions just took me to this place because you're blurring the lines of your logic and your goals with your emotions and how you feel about your personal life.
Well, actually, I don't know if it's blurring the line that much. Brief side note, hear me on a serious topic real quick. This is part of the problem.
Okay.
Why, like, seriously, we have this ideal image where we do prioritize the emotional aspect of success. The
Okay.
emotional success and things like that, especially in this country. When's the last time you watched a Hollywood movie without a love interest? When's the last time you watched a TV show without a love interest? I'm
They
just
sell
saying,
it.
like,
They sell it.
these picturesque things, it's just all a sale. So it's kind of, you see what I'm getting at in response to that comment that you just made?
It's not much different.
It's not much different.
It's not much different.
It's
And
just painting a certain picture. And
It's just the issue
that's
that
on purpose,
That
I
it's
think.
reality TV, right?
reality television.
Because you're like, oh, these are real people's lives. These are their
Yeah.
real emotions, and like, it's a fine line because you're right. It's fucked up because they're playing with these people's emotions.
yeah.
But also these movies and TVs give us these
Still
expectations.
ABC. I mean, I'm still available.
We should go on The Bachelor one day. That'd be hilarious.
Like I said, I gotta probably shave down a little bit of the nose bone. Probably gotta
We'll wait till it's.
some hair implants.
We'll wait till like the
Some
generic
hair
culture
implants for sure.
accepts what we look like as like the meta good-looking guys. And then
Whenever
we'll go.
I'm the meta, we're in fucking trouble.
Whenever we come into
Or maybe
season,
not. Maybe we're saved if I become the meta.
I
but-
think so, dude. That's like it's just funny because like things that are viewed as like hot or attractive literally change over time.
it does. It's a
People-
trend cycle always.
So there are, I
do you
guess,
think
some,
there'll ever be a Bachelor season ever entirely based on personality?
well, okay. So side note, there's a show
Maybe
called
geriatric Bachelor.
there's a show called Love Is Blind.
Oh,
And the way that show works is like 20 guys,
Another
20
game
girls.
show.
They all go on dates with each other through these kind of like, for those Catholics out there, reconciliation booths where they can't
Oh.
see each other, but they talk.
Oh,
And they have to pick.
I don't know if you know about the reconciliation booths, but like you spill your shit, bro.
Yes.
So are they spilling their shit to each other?
Kinda. Because what happens is the only way you can get out of the reconciliation booth period is to like propose and pick someone.
Whoa.
So there was like, let's say 30 guys and
To
girls.
propose?
I'll up it to 30 guys and girls.
Propose?
Maybe
Not
only
just
like
ask out.
maybe only like 8 of them make it out of there, right?
Yeah.
And then they get engaged and then they hang out for a couple weeks and then they go to a wedding. Not all of them even make it to the wedding and even fewer of them get married. But it did happen in the end. You should watch the show on Netflix. It's called Love Is Blind. And like you could watch it for the drama, the Bachelor type stuff, but I really watched it for like the psychology of it. It's very interesting seeing how they really liked someone and some people saw someone and they went, ugh, that's not what I'm into. And they broke up.
Damn.
Right?
Because, I mean, we'd all be lying. I mean, it's not like this physically attracted. You're physically attracted to what you're physically attracted to.
It's a part of the pie.
Yeah.
I think we would be lying we would
All
obviously
of
be
us,
lying.
everyone.
if
Doesn't
we
matter what your
said
sexual orientation
it wasn't
is. You'd
part
be
of it.
lying.
I used to joke that it's like, because girls would ask me like, oh, like, does a girl have to look like blank, blank, blank? And
It's all personal preference.
It's all personal preference, and every person. I used to joke. I don't know if this is still true today. I'd have to really dig deep to find out. There's like a minimum, pretty much. It's like she has to at least look like this. And you can set that bar very low if you're a nice guy. I'm just saying,
also sometimes some human brains are snowflakes. So
there's exceptions, of course.
One man's 10 is another man's 2.
That's what I'm saying.
I really think that range true.
100%. Let me get this off so I don't sound like a complete asshole. Right?
I saved myself well for the recording, bro.
But let me say, it's pretty much just like you have your preferences.
Yeah.
And you'll meet a girl, and if you really like her personality and what she's into, and she at least, isn't like exactly the opposite of what you're attracted to physically, it'll work out. I value who they are and their personality, their goals and stuff much more than how they look like.
As do I. I saved myself the explanation.
But what I'm saying is, if there was a girl you really were physically, for lack of a better term, disgusted by in that sense. I'm not saying I'm disgusted by
for
you.
But
you know what I'm saying.
That was brilliantly worded, sir. That was why I laughed that hard. That was great. For lack of a better word, physically repulsed.
If anyone's mad at me for saying that, take a look at yourself. And if you would literally like, I'd fuck anyone who looks like anything, you're lying.
Some people,
you're lying.
I think some people would fuck.
I'm just saying,
mostly dudes.
But the thing is, it's not like there's this group of people who nobody wants to fuck. Maybe there is, but it's all personal preference.
It is.
There might be a girl you would think, no way. And there's a girl I'd be like, yeah, perfect. Yeah. And if she has a million other qualities that take up the 90 percent of the pie, then it works out. So it's not all about that, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's what the show is about. But sometimes they have people they meet, and depending on the person,
and it's a deal breaker.
Everyone's a different piece of the pie. Let's say my piece of the pie is like, looks are 10%. Maybe someone else it's 50%.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. I don't know if mine's 10%. I have no clue what the fuck it is.
Some dudes like
80%.
Interesting question. Where would you rank okay, we're going to keep it a nice even split, right? Only 2 categories for now. There are a lot more categories when picking a partner.
You're making this easy for me.
Making it very easy, we're just kind of riffing here a little bit.
I already said what my decision is, though. It's not based on a percentage. It's a minimum.
Oh, well, but again, I was going to make it easy with a 50-50 split.
No.
Right.
Okay, it's not that easy, though, man. Come on, we can't lie. I would say...
you're right.
I would say it's not a percentage. Yeah. My thing is, there are things I'm physically attracted to, and it's all like a scale. Maybe someone's not as physically attractive as I think in my brain.
To you.
But I really like who they are as a person, their goals, what they love in life, our similarities. Those can outweigh.
And they hit the minimum.
Right? And they can outweigh the other thing. But there are some things that are so heavy on this side that it doesn't matter how fucking great of a person you are, unfortunately.
And you motherfuckers would be lying.
And you would do the same
do the same. Because but that's the thing. I just think this goes back to the Hollywood discussion. It just shouldn't be perpetuated by one entity.
Who would decide?
Is that the right way to say that?
Sure,
that was a very complex way to say that. Go, Matt. Verbiage, bitch.
But exactly. And unfortunately, that influences all of our opinions.
Yeah.
As well as our surroundings, who we grew up with, the type of people we grew up with. There's a million things to determine what in our brains we view as sexy or attractive, right? And a lot of
that's the case with
culture.
everyone.
So those things we can change, how culture deems hot or attractive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a different scenario, but
the personal fixes are never going to come.
Yes.
Ever.
To bring it back to The Bachelor, the thing is they always bring it back.
Wormhole right there.
They always bring it. They always meet the minimum. But the issue is like those things in Love is Blind is fucking like sometimes too much for them.
Yeah.
And like you might be seen as fucked up if you fall in love with someone through conversation and then you meet them. Yeah. And there were some people on the show that was the case. And it's an experiment. The whole point of it is a psychology experiment into how much does physical looks matter and how much does your voice and stuff matter. I would say the X factor is you can talk to someone on the phone for 3 months and be in love, and then in the next 3 months fall out of love or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
just because you've seen someone in person, that's not the sole reason why you break up with them later.
I want to
Maybe
see
it's
Bachelor
because
Zoom edition or FaceTime edition.
Right? That would be crazy.
It'd be nuts.
There are shows like that though.
Really?
There's a lot of these.
So
kind
you
of
can FaceTime, you can actually gauge it a
all
little
in
bit,
between-
but
there's all these in between shows. There's a ton of stuff like that, and
man.
they are garbage shows for the most part. What they sell themselves on, but I find interest in the psychology of it for sure.
Can all our Bachelor Nation listeners promise that after however long you spend talking about The Bachelor the next week, we also, what's something productive we can do, Alex?
Oh, anti-Bachelor
Not anti-Bachelor.
production.
I'm saying this is entertainment, and I'm not dissing on Bachelor Nation.
Yeah.
I'm not coming at it, but like I think what we've gotten to the bottom of is like entertainment needs a balance, right?
Yeah.
Because there's more at play here. There's more at play. So maybe, go read the psychology article behind all this stuff. It's interesting to talk about. I think these are interesting discussions that more watchers should be talking about. Personally,
I would say yes. I could recommend you 1,000 things to do in your spare time. But if we're going to stay in the Bachelor Nation field, I would say look introspectively into what attracts you to a person,
what you value, maybe
what you value in a relationship.
Yeah.
And like actually start to think about those things. Because you see on the show, I know you don't.
Because I
watch.
think it's dangerous that the show can perpetuate certain notions.
Yeah.
For certain people, maybe
And-
it's not. Is it dangerous if that's what they want?
It is, because they show you what is considered hot or sexy, or what is a good looking wife, or what
What's
you are
wife
looking
material?
for. Right.
Wifey? Who's wifey, bro?
But you should really know personally what that is for you. And so I'd say everyone take a second. That's our rec for the week, I guess. Early.
think about it.
Think about like, what do I really value? What I really look for? And you see people on the show who get in there and they realize later on they don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what they want. Do I want to get married now? Not everyone's at a point in their life where they're ready to get married or even ready to be in a relationship. So it's important to know right now, do I want to stay single? Do I want to be in a relationship? Which one is that? If I want to be in a relationship, what am I looking for? Because there's a lot of people get hurt and really affected by people who don't know what they personally want. And unfortunately, that affects other people. And I'm not trying to get all simp shit on you, but we've all done that. We've all been the hurt one. We've all done the hurting.
Come on. That's the thing. I think this mass blame needs to stop. We've all done it. We've all been there. And
We've all been the
done
bad
it.
partner, and we've all been the one who got scorned.
Maybe
by
not.
someone
Maybe
else.
there's a few people who
Sure.
have only been one.
Sure. Regardless,
But for the most part,
it doesn't matter. Just look into yourself and be like, what am I
Yeah.
really looking for? And if you realize, man, I really don't want a relationship right now, just fucking don't do it. It's easier said than done.
and don't let the Bachelor tell you that this is what you need.
That what you need, right?
It's not what you need. Use it as entertainment. That fucking Ben Higgins season sounds entertaining as fuck.
Yeah, we're gonna watch that.
That sounds
I know
awesome.
we're gonna go back and watch that.
That sounds great.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
That sounds like a great season. But
Kayla, Kayla, I know you're engaged, but oh my god, I would marry you right now. You're my favorite. I love you so much.
is that Ben Higgins' fiance?
No, she got 4th place, but she was my.
She's engaged
my
now to
favorite.
another famous person. To
That's
some.
another guy.
Oh, just
I
rando.
follow her on Instagram like a fucking creepy stalker. So she's moved on.
Hey man,
But
you have your own preferences, bro. You can follow who you want as long as you don't take it to the creepy level.
But I think it's good that she just kind of made her own decision and was like, oh, I'm going to do this, blah, 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 with my life. But that's the thing. Anyone can look into what they're looking for and just figure out what you really want. That's a good thing for everyone to do. And don't need to force it. Don't need to force your hand. Things will come around. Everyone has different preferences, and it'd be better if we all learned our specific ones and we didn't just listen to what the fuck the Bachelor told us was hot or what you're looking for. Like, just find what you like, and then we all win. And hopefully the Bachelor will catch up too. Hopefully they won't be so insensitive and not with the
seriously.
times.
I mean, they come on. I know you said you don't want it to be an equation, but just change it up every year.
Yeah, I don't even say every year, but just like be very conscious of what you're doing and make sure you kind of change.
But looking at you,
this
producers,
bad
I
cycle.
don't. I mean,
I will
again,
say,
fuck the host either way. I don't give a shit. Fuck them, not fuck them either
Yeah.
way. But like, think about. Here's the thing. My one address to the cancelers. think about the producers, think about the production, and think about the ratings. I really think that that's largely at play here, right? We're canceling people in general. And I mean,
It should
right?
be
He
more
got
of
his
the
severance
show.
package. But let's say in the world where I'm right and this guy was told to say something by the producers and got fired, who's to say he's not going to see some whack job in public who's going to take it to the next level?
I see what you're saying.
I'm just, not that that's going to happen, and
You
not
don't-
that he does, not that this guy doesn't deserve it. Just in the
Sure.
off chance where
Well-
I'm right, in the off chance I'm right.
Yes. You don't think anyone deserves to be killed for these actions that they're saying or what they may or may not be manipulated to do.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is essentially don't cancel someone so far. You know what I mean? And that's a very important thing. Like, this person should be reprimanded for what they did, and they should learn and make strides to progress. Whether it was them or the show, doesn't really matter. Things need to change. But yeah, don't take it so far to like ruin a man's life or like send death threats or something like that.
But the show needs to change. The show needs to change.
And this guy needs to change his mindset.
Yeah.
And the girl on the show needs to change his mindset.
Her mindset.
Yes. So it's just like,
or their mindset.
yeah, it's just
Maybe down the line.
imagining
yeah.
the better future for them, but don't like fucking crucify these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To that extent as well.
I think that's an important thing to address. I'm glad you did that. That was well worded, sir.
Yeah.
And honestly,
we don't want to like completely destroy these people. We want to educate and teach them and improve. And
Move
so
forward.
everyone wins. It's not you win, you lose, I win. It's just let's all win. Let's all figure this out and make it better.
And on this deep note, I have one final question for you. To be completely honest, one final question on my end.
Sure.
So, you talked about how it was disappointing in some ways, it was cool in other ways. This was a very unique season of The Bachelor. Bachelor Nation, we went off on our podcast tangents, but we didn't forget about you.
Love you, Bachelor Nation.
Bachelor Nation.
Matt,
I have to know.
You're an honorary part of Bachelor Nation now.
I think a lot of people would contend that statement. But
I'm giving him the pass, all right? All right, y'all?
he's
I've
a
been-
legit member.
I've been
He's a
watching
legit
forever.
member.
I'm going to give it
You're
to
a
him.
legit member.
And I'm going to make him watch the new Bachelorette season
And
with
I want to
Katie
watch
with
Ben
me.
Higgins.
We're going to watch Ben Higgins, and we're going to watch Katie in the summer. the
My
new
final
Bachelorette.
question for you, my truest personal connection to Bachelor Nation.
Sure.
What was the final out of 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, ranking for the Bachelor 2021 season?
Okay. I will say, a lot of people I think would rate this season pretty low.
Did it start in 2020?
Yeah, sure. I think it was.
2021
It was
season.
around the new year. I would say I would give it an 8 out of 10.
Wow, that sounds high for me. Like as a music, like when I rate
Yes,
music
yes,
on the
yes.
scale of 1 to 10, 8's pretty high.
Yes. So like I was,
But there were disappointing aspects, but still high rated.
so it was a pretty whack season for the most part, but I thought people who know, the real fans know the season. If it's Bachelor, it's about the Bachelor. It's Bachelorette, it's about the Bachelorette. And this season, The Bachelor had a lot of bad contestants who really ruined most of the show. I didn't love a lot of the contestants.
Yeah.
But the Bachelor himself, Matt James, was a pretty good guy. I thought he seemed pretty stand up. He did things that were reasonable, and nothing that he did I would be like, why would he do that? I would have probably done a lot of the same things.
He seemed like a reasonable person.
The fact that he didn't propose to anyone after 2 or 3 months,
Yeah.
very reasonable.
Yeah.
Right? And good thing he didn't, because then he found out about this girl and he realized, oh, I'm not with her. It's
He
just
still dated her.
he did, but he didn't know.
He still went to Pound Town a couple times.
He definitely did. 100%. When they saw each other, you could see it in their eyes.
I'm sorry for the obscenities. Work with me here.
It's what happened.
We all
right?
say it.
It's what
We
it
all
is.
say it. It's what it is, cuz. Shout out history, bro.
So I would say it's an 8 out of 10. I really liked him. He was a really good bachelor for the show. Unfortunately, due to COVID and due to the group of women he might have had,
Yeah.
it wasn't as good of a season as it could be, but I would be bad to diss on him.
Yeah.
He did a good job. The season kind of was uneventful towards the end and kind of not exciting.
Anticlimactic.
Maybe not an 8, maybe more like a 7.8. I'd say like a C+.
C+, B- range.
It was good. I enjoyed it. If I knew what was going to happen, would I still watch it? It'd be tough, but probably because fuck it.
Yeah.
You know, I would hope next season is better. I think it's a move in the right direction though for Bachelor. The last couple seasons were pretty disappointing. This was the best I've seen in probably since Ben Higgins, just barely compared to the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of like C's, C minuses, and this is probably like a C plus, slightly better on the right direction. Excited for both
and
Bachelor
Ben
seasons.
Higgins, just so I have the relative comparison in my mind, Ben Higgins would be numerically rated
B plus, A minus.
Wow, A minus.
I
So
really
he maybe
fucked
crept
with
to a
that
9
season.
out of 10.
The ending wasn't amazing, but the whole the season as a whole was very good.
Really good.
But we're gonna see next season Bachelorette, Michelle and Katie. I'm both very excited for. I think Katie goes first, Dildo Girl. So we're excited for her.
Gotcha.
We're gonna watch her season.
Gotcha.
Maybe
Vibrator.
we'll give you a
Vibrator,
review on
sir.
that. And if you do
Vibrator.
like the Bachelor updates, let us know. We'll do some more Bachelor pods.
Honestly, I was just going to say, I think it would be kind of a funny thing because if I watch every week next season, that'll be my first time ever doing that.
Sure.
Possibly come the time, weekly Bachelor updates.
We're not.
Maybe.
We fuck our whole podcast.
Maybe.
And we become an entirely Bachelor-centric podcast. Would be so funny.
It would be hysterical, but no, it's not happening. It's not happening from
Okay,
my end
but
right
maybe
now. I'm
bonus
not
episodes.
into it yet.
I would love, though. I
a
think
subsection, a
Yes.
Bachelor podcast
and I
for
think
itself.
it would be a great perspective as someone who's watched it a very long time, as someone who's brand new, to kind of analyze it in pros and cons.
That would be kind of fun, actually. Maybe its own show.
So
I don't know if I want career podcasters to become
maybe
a bachelor.
We'll start a new show. We'll get some other of our Bachelor friends on. If that's something that interests you, though, let us know. Let us know if you've enjoyed this.
This has been a very, very special Bachelor recap edition of
Bachelor
the
Nation.
Career Podcasters.
Bachelor Nation, we love you. Talk to
Shout
you guys
out.
soon.
Follow us on the socials. Check us out on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple. Peace.